Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Crosskeys race. Tonight we got PlasmaKappa versus rdwalshv. Strike that, reverse it. We've got Biliberal and Alizoon on our comms, with Top Violet and Lady Lorelinda doing our tracking for us. And because no one ever wants to actually listen to me, I'm giving it to them now. Guys, all yours. Guy and lady, excuse me, all yours.
Hello. Thank you so much. I'm really excited for this. We are into week 5 of our Swiss rounds here of the Crosskeys tournament here. And how are you doing today, Alison?
Well, I'm going to dispute the line that anyone ever wants to hear me talk, but I'm doing all right.
Hey! I like it. I like it because you're sassy.
This is going to be good, and this is going to be. I mean, 2-2 is kind of a scary record for a lot of people because really it's sort of the elimination cutoff for brackets at this point. Is if you're at 2 losses, like if you go 6-2, you will make the tiebreak. If you do not go 6-2, you will not make brackets.
Yes, yeah, because where we have it lined up, because how many people was it that signed up originally? I think it's like 185 or something, or 180?
185 sounds about right. I think at one point we peaked at 187, and then we had 2 people drop before the tournament started.
Okay, yeah, because it was pretty close. We capped it at 192, because last year they had to up the cap once because so many people signed up that we were not expecting that much growth.
We had the cap at 96, and I think we hit it in 12 hours.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was less than a day. It was within like 8 to 12 hours, and the 96 was hit, and it was like, excuse us, folks. There are a lot more people that want to play.
Yeah, I mean, I think we underestimated last year just how much people would be interested in playing. But I mean, as a tournament organizer, it was super cool and really awesome to see. And luckily, Swiss, I think, expands very, very well in terms of the actual size of the tournament.
It really does, and this is exciting. We are just about to get set off here now with rdwalshv versus PlasmaKappa, and we are going to see how both of these play out. We're getting both a Sanctuary start, getting us a big 20, so nothing major.
Yeah, I mean, you have different people with very, very strong opinions kind of on what the quote-unquote right way to start is. I understand why people are as hyped as they are about Sanctuary start in general when they do it. I sort of run very, very heavily towards the theory that you don't win races in the first 10 minutes, but you absolutely can lose races in the first 10 minutes, and like orphaning things unnecessarily because you don't have bombs. Like even like what rdwalshv is doing here, where he's trying to farm himself some money, like that has a time cost, and so investing the Houlihan, plus also getting a couple of the worst entrances in the game out of the way, is very, very worthwhile to me. And you're always guaranteed to be, or you're not guaranteed to be able to find bombs, but it really ups your ability to find bombs. So that if, say, you were PlasmaKappa and got unlucky with the 50-50 bush that he lifted, he doesn't waste extra time running through escape. Of course, Pod here is a really good entrance to find, because this is one of those ones that does have absolute guaranteed bombs.
Yeah, that's really nice to find. Yeah, finding Pod so quickly, and did I miss Eastern on Plasma side? Oh, wow.
Yep, they went in and out of Eastern. Or one of them did. I don't remember if it was rdwalshv or Plasma. I'm already directionally confused, but...
Oh, yeah. Well, it's marked over on Plasma side, so I assume he was the one that dipped into Eastern, and I think
that's probably up in the Blind's Hut area then, because I thought Plasma went up, and never mind. Okay, sorry, rdwalshv went up and Plasma went down.
There we go. Yeah. And green is in Pod. Okay, Pod is green today.
Honestly, I hate it.
We got our Big Key GT. Oh, that's nice. That is nice to find. We have a Moon Pearl. There is not going to be a single second of bunny walking in this match.
Yeah, I'm always... This is going to sound weird to say. I kind of really don't like it when I get an early Moon Pearl. I think after you run enough seeds, you find that there's some, like, very, very common patterns you run into seeds, and one of them that I find is you have the seed where like you have a super empty sphere 0 except for a moon pearl and all of your progression is just in the dark world.
Okay, so we have a vanilla bat, but on top of that, so far, CAC has given us 3 dungeons. It's given us Eastern, it's given us Pod, and it's given us Swamp. So CAC's kind of stacked with dungeons.
So yeah, and PlasmaKappa also found a bomb shop, which is really, really nice. And I think rdwalshv is going to do a little bit less because he did an extra round of farming in the 50 rupee house, whereas Plasma didn't, and so he's going to try to recoup some of his funds now. I mean, admittedly, like, this is the best repeatable way to farm money in the game. It's pretty much on par with the Houlihan in terms of average money per time. It's one of those things that when I'm racing, I always mark where this is, just in case I happen to be poor, because I think it's relatively rare you get forced into needing rupees for a seed in a relatively early fashion, but if you do and you don't have a rupee farm marked, your seed's gonna suck. Like,
yeah, it's one of those things that it doesn't take you long to just mark it, just so that you have it there. You probably won't need it, but if you ever get a seed that you do, you want to know where to go back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and that's Hookshot Cave over on that was the library over on PlasmaKappa side.
Did I see Easter was a pendant on rdwalshv's side? I only caught it for like a quarter of a second, but I'm pretty sure there was either a P or a C there.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Which, if you actually know that's a pendant I really, really dislike. I know there's some very strong opinions on whether you dip Eastern if you find it early or not. And I have come to the you should always be dipping Eastern camp.
Yep.
That being said, if it's a pendant, it feels even stronger to me, because sort of the thing that you get out of the wait until you can do it or until you have to dip Eastern camp is that you get the ability to say, you know what, I'm only going to go in there once, I have to come back anyway to beat it, so I'm going to try to not do it right now. That doesn't apply if it's a pendant. If it's a pendant, you can get 67% of the value right there in one dip without having to wait, and if you find something impactful in the early game, if you find a mirror, if you find a flute, if you find a glove, if you're like drop orphans, like all of a sudden the 20 seconds extra it costs to redip it pays for itself very, very easily.
Yes, exactly. And it's like and having, two pendants known already, it's like if we luck into finding another one right away, we have all of our crystal knowledge immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, honestly, if you're anything like my luck, you're just going to do it by killing a boss and seeing the pendant float down from the ceiling. I feel like I'm map checking maybe 50% of my Crosskeys seeds. As that bomb goes a little bit errant from rdwalshv. Plasma now going back and using his bomb for Sanctuary. Getting that early fairy, not really what you want, honestly.
But we do have a bottle now, and we do know that Sick Kid is in CAC, so that can be a quick turn in if they're popping back. I mean, Plasma's actually just back in CAC now, so we'll probably turn that in immediately.
Yep, I have to imagine he's going to head right back there and see what's there. And I think he also didn't go up for these entrances, so he will probably... Yeah, if I'm reading his tracker right, he actually hadn't checked any of these, so he gets to single dip Sick Kid here. Which, given where Sick Kid is about 5 feet from a starting point, is kind of hilarious. But
yes.
I mean, it's also not shocking. Like, if a bottle is in the back of Escape, it's not surprising to do back of Escape first, because if I have a bomb and I can do it, it's the first play. Like,
100%.
It's just such a fast, efficient 3 checks that there's no reason whatsoever to pull it off, and that's why. At 7 minutes, they made one play, waited until they got to a natural save and quit, and then immediately, okay, cool, we're good. And Plasma's going to head up to Lost Woods, I suspect, out of this play.
Yes, well, having that sword on rdwalshv's side is definitely nice to have, just a little weapon, so that you don't have to be farming bombs forever.
Yeah, for sure. And you also at least get the nice little advantage that you're just a little bit more combat able when you're going through the world. Just having a sword, even if it does bad damage, just knock enemies away from you and out of your path can be very, very helpful. I think, honestly, when you see newer runners who haven't quite done as much in Crosskeys, one of the things they'll struggle at a lot is just like their basic movement and not dying to things as they go through the world if they don't have a sword. And then, I mean, obviously, I like having a sword too, but when you get to a little bit more experience, it stops being quite as much of an issue. All right, and PlasmaKappa heads up to Lost Woods. He finds Uncle there. Meanwhile, rdwalshv headed to Hyrule Castle and found Useless Fairy and the bad side of Ice Run Cave. Another one of those entrances I also will occasionally mark as well. I have a little, I use Ceph's tracker when I'm playing, and rather than tracking specifically what things are, I basically just have a notation that works for me. And so the here is a point of interest is basically gets marked with an ether symbol on my tracker as there's a glove.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we have found 5 dungeons out of the 10, crystal or pendant dungeons. And we got glove, we have moon pearl, we have the small key to this dungeon within this dungeon, so that's lovely.
Yeah, but one of the notable things here is that PlasmaKappa, unless he happens to find the other glove here, which he doesn't because it's the Smith's, is gonna be put in a spot where even if he finds that glove right now, those entrances are gonna be kind of an awkward spot. Specifically the Light World, the Rock Under the Light World Bumper Cave, and to a lesser degree the Sanctuary Drop Down. Since you don't have that glove. It's why one of the best things you can find early on for routing in the game is just finding a glove, because there's so many entrances scattered around, and particularly in Sphere Zero, that end up being glove locked, and so being able to do that is nice. PlasmaKappa is going to be a little bit upset here. So you'll notice that he just absolutely blinded this drop down.
Yep, and now he has to take that little trot.
And he did that because he has found Ganon, because the Ganon is behind the lumberjack tree. And so he can safely drop without the risk of dying. And I think it was 4-1 in his favor that drop would be something that he'd want to take.
Yep.
And he got the one.
Yeah. I mean, with odds like that, he could buy a lotto ticket.
Yeah, I was saying, and another thing that sort of is an underrated aspect of finding glove here is we're seeing on Walsh's side is you can actually route this eastern area a little bit different and a little bit better, where you go to the Flute 5 spot and then walk up to eastern and then jump down to Saha's Hut. Saha's Hut is kind of notoriously a little crappy to be able to get out of when you're doing it, and so having that glove so that you can route in this way makes it significantly easier to go through.
And here comes Plasma to see that glove and have a little moment of, oh, this could have been faster.
Yeah, that gets about a half eye roll for me when I see something like that happen. But I am also, it's like, and like, here's the thing, like, because you're ending in this spot here for rdwalshv, you actually save a lot of time, because not only do you not have to walk out of Saha's area, you also get to just save and quit from right here in Super Bunny Cave, so you don't have to take the 2 extra screen transitions, the 3 decently long walks out. Like, it's a 10-15 second time save just on that right there. And we'll see where Walsh is heading. I suspect South Shore, given his options. He is likely... Well, okay, he's in Hit Light World Hype Cave and may pop up from there, but I would guess he's going to go south, continuing from here. Very possibly to go Mini Moldrum Cave and then head to the west from there. Nope, okay, he's just going to pop back this way. And since he has a glove, he can kind of... Okay, so he's because he didn't Hula Hand, he's heading up to the Witch's Hut now. Which also makes a degree of sense. I'm not even sure he's going to Hula Hand it, but because he has the glove, he can check both of these drop-downs and then head up to North Light World and then sort of end in the Lost Woods area if he needs to. That all depending on whether you actually find things to pull you off of your route. But Just nothing you're going to come from PlasmaKappa side, just kind of trading off right now.
And now he is doing that fake flipper, gonna check over.
I always find it interesting watching how people fake flipper. I'm like Derek Zoolander. I'm like a reverse Derek Zoolander. Like I can. That's true. I'm a normal Derek Zoolander. I can only fake flipper from the right.
Yep.
I don't know why. I don't understand it, but I can like never fake flipper from the left. And you see different. I've seen people who have the exact reverse of that problem.
Yes. Yeah. It really like it's one of those things that's just it's very unique to the player of what way that they can get it lined up effectively and actually reliably, so that it's like, okay, I can only do it from one side. I've tried it from both, and it's like, no, I have to be on the left side of the transition for this to work, or else I'm going to be here forever, and it's probably never going to happen.
Yep, and we'll see if rdwalshv is going to blind drop here. Okay, so I'm not surprised that he's blind dropping. I will note that this is, from his perspective, a little bit of a risk, because this could be Ganon. Our PlasmaKappa, of course, knows that it's not, as we find. Okay, he's just putting it saving and quitting out.
Yep.
I probably would have kept going from here, especially because you get spit out on the Sanctuary screen, and so that you could have gone to the north and then looped around and looked to end in the Lost Woods. But he's just going to head. He's going to turn in the bottle at Sick Kid here, and then he's just going to head up. We also have, if our runners want, we have the entirety of South Shore Ice Rod Cave still available. With a glove, you're not going to orphan any of those checks, which is nice. I know it's very, very rare that I ever actually walk to Ice Rod Cave in a seed. I'm very stingy about doing that, and will look either for the ability to get there via connector or get there via the whirlpool from North Light World. Just because it's really slow, or if a miracle happens, get there with the flute.
And my goodness, so this has been doing pretty good. I gotta say, this is a strong start just for ease of access for our runners. Being able to have a weapon, you have Dark World access, you have Dark World walkability is so nice. It can be troublesome in the very beginning, because if you find yourself in the Dark World with that Moon Pearl, is that it gives you so many other directions you can go, and routes can diverge a lot, and if you just make the wrong choice by following some Dark World bait, then you can lose progression by a significant amount of time.
Yeah. And on the plus side, at least, neither of these runners are going to be in a position where they're going to be chucking orphans in the Light World, which is a lot of how you kind of can get in bad positions, is by missing an item early that your opponent happens to be able to get to. As I suspect, PlasmaKappa is walking out of here and is actually going to end up at Light World Bumper Cave. Really, the two runners are going to end up almost in the exact same spot at the exact same time with the exact same things done.
Yeah.
PlasmaKappa's like a step ahead, but rdwalshv did an extra round of farming the pots. As I can tell you exactly what rdwalshv just did. He was looking at his map and just assuming he was autopiloting through the screen. As a victim of that, I can't really judge. As we have a vanilla Death Mountain Ascent here.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know what kind of seed you've rolled here, Tom. But I'm kind of here for it.
I will note that it's actually interesting that what a paucity of connectors that we've had so far. Since one of the things that kind of the sort of really early items very, very often shape the way a seed plays out. So if I get a mirror early, you're going to see me be significantly more aggressive about diving connectors, because I can make more use of it. If I get a Moon Pearl early, ditto. If I get both of them, the metaphor I tend to use is I smash my face into every connector I see like it's a particularly fine pile of cocaine. And so they really haven't even had the chance here. They had the one hookshot cave connector, and that was kind of it.
Yep. So those two small keys that they lucked into right where they turned in the old man was a small key to Ice Palace, small key to GT. So that's our first small to GT. Oh, that is a paradox entrance. That's nice to find. And coming up the mountain here is like these are a lot of entrances for them to be checking here for us. We'll see if they pay off.
Getting to West Death Mountain is almost always the first priority I have in a seed, just because it's so many entrances clustered together that it's just like a good way to get a bunch of stuff done. So we'll
Is there going to be a single dungeon that we don't find within the first half an hour of this match? Like, we're running out of dungeons to be hunting for.
We're gonna not find Castle Tower in the first half hour of the match, which unfortunately we need this time. Quite unlucky.
Oh, and we got a... What was that big key? I just missed it.
Dark Palace.
Oh, nice.
So that does put plays on the board, especially if we get a second pod key. Because we know pod is there, it's super accessible. We get the ability, potentially, if we want, as also... Shout out to the Red Bale in this seed for making Death Warping an absolute misery. Hopefully rdwalshv remembers he has a fairy if he tries it. What he really should do, I think, is just walk out. But we'll see.
Oh my goodness.
He knows. He knows.
Okay, good. Good, because yeah, it's gonna be a pain. Just red mail, they're already up to 7 hearts, which isn't that many, but with red mail, it is. It's too much to be bothering with, and then on top of that, they do have a sneaky little fairy hiding inside that bottle that will just hurt to see a death warp attempt.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough to do. For sure. We're gonna see these last 2 entrances here for rdwalshv as PlasmaKappa's hit everything in Light World Death Mountain at this point. And so with no connectors to speak of, I have to assume they're just going to keep on going into the Dark World portal and check out these entrances. Which honestly are kind of sneaky crap entrances. Because even though you can get to them pretty easily, vastly more often than not, you're going to find a connector somewhere on Death Mountain, and you're going to want to follow them. And these connectors can get kind of left to the wayside, especially if you don't have a Moon Pearl when you're coming here, because, like, you can find, like, a chicken hut or something here, and all of a sudden you're just like, I never want to come here.
Oh, yep. So, speaking of connector, we have found the old lady connector here, so we'll see. Oh, this one brings us to Dark World over at the lake, and, Walsh is not following. Walsh is going to leave that one a mystery, but PlasmaKappa is coming right back.
That could have... I mean, rdwalshv is probably going to just immediately loop around and go through. That did put a kind of nasty scenario on the table for PlasmaKappa, where if that was like a boots-locked entrance or a GT or something that you can't reverse, I'm actually surprised here. Because the position they got dumped into was a pretty nice position to get dumped into.
Yep, and well, there we go. Back on the mountain, on the other side there. So, not an exciting entrance there.
Yeah, but it doesn't actually do anything for you right now, since there's no hookshot or any way to get. He's going to check out the backside of it now too. And meanwhile, rdwalshv is going to sort of start the South Dark World option. Between South Dark World and North Dark World, I tend to favor South Dark World as my first play, especially if I don't have a mirror. Like you're in both cases, you're going to be orphaning things. Like there's not really anything you can do to avoid it, unless you have a mirror. But at least with South Dark World, you have like the guaranteed item spots, and with North Dark World, you have a must connector spot where you're not guaranteed to have a must connector spot to South World.
Yes, exactly.
So I will usually bias in favor of that.
Yeah.
Also, shame on rdwalshv for ditching the ferry so early. If the mirror's in one of these chests, I'm gonna laugh.
Oh yeah.
On the other hand, kudos for not forgetting about the ferry. So
exactly, if you leave it towards the very end, it's going to be like, oh no.
Now I'll do it like before I get to Zelda Cell, but
yeah. But I mean, like with red mail, it's like, why do I need a ferry? This ferry would be wasted on me.
yeah, it's useful in a couple places that have like fixed damage and stuff, but on the whole, no real need for the ferry.
Exactly. And so earlier we saw PlasmaKappa come out at the most useless connector entrance on the right side of desert, because you can never get back into that. But taking advantage of it to do the South Light World checks, went through desert, hasn't found anything thrilling yet.
I don't know what you're doing here, rdwalshv.
Setting up
you could
for
death warp twice as fast from the guard.
Yep.
Because the big dude is doing a quarter heart 2 on red mail, whereas on the guard they do a fixed half heart.
Oh, there you go.
So on blue mail it's even, whereas on green mail it's faster to death warp to the ball and chain guard. Sorry, I knew he was setting up for the death warp. I was questioning the setting up for the death warp. And to your point on Desert Right, I think it's notable to pay attention to be like, yeah, Desert Right kind of sucks, but it can also kind of be a useful routing tool, because it's one of the only ways you can hit like that nice route where you go desert, South Shore, mini Moldorm, Ice Rod Cave. So it does actually have some nice aspects to it. If you find it early. If you find it late, it's pure butt. I got no words for it other than pure butt.
Tom, you haven't missed too much. We got some Dark World. We got a lot of dungeons. We just have so many dungeons. And Red Mail, which without a mirror has made death warping basically not a thing that will be happening this seed.
Well,
it will, but they won't be happy about it.
So the one nice thing that, and you'll see rdwalshv is actually, I think, heading south? Oh, it looks like he's going, okay. He's just trying to find rats. The one thing I will say is that because their Hyrule Castle entrance was in the Dark World, you get sort of the Dark World, as we find the other side of Hyrule Castle here for PlasmaKappa. You find Dark World, you get that sort of Dark World enemy set. So there's a set of enemies that kind of share sprites with each, or that share damage tables with each other, but vary depending on whether they're in the Light World or the Dark World. So the easiest one is like the rats and the death crickets in Thieves Town, or the bats in Light World and bats in Dark World. The ones in Dark World are significantly more deadly. So if you're going through the sewers here with Green Mail, you're taking 2 damage a hit from those rats and stuff. Whereas on Red Mail, you're taking a very respectable half damage, and all of a sudden, death warping becomes shockingly less bad.
Yep. So we have found every dungeon except for GT and the back of Skull Woods between our 2 runners. That's pretty thrilling.
And Castle Tower. Oh no, we did find Castle Tower. When did we find Castle Tower?
I don't remember. I was definitely looking at Plasma side because I do not remember walking in.
Yeah, I don't.
But it is marked, and I trust our trackers because they are smart people.
Yeah. Toffa would never try to make me look like an idiot. But yeah, so now rdwalshv is just gonna have to say, alright, whatever, I'm gonna go this way. I probably would have, in his shoes, gone out the back of Old Man and see where that went, because I think that was the one that went to Desert Right?
Yes, back of Old Man was Desert Right, and that is generally not a fun one to find, but PlasmaKappa made it work because they hadn't done those checks.
Whereas it's
so
going to go kind of annoyingly for rdwalshv, although
yeah,
he may just follow this connector instead.
But now, at least for rdwalshv, like it's not something that locks you out. So he's going to find it eventually, and he'll be like, "Okay, I can just turn around and go back."
Yeah, but that makes you feel kind of bad because it's kind of a long walk, and at least because of where it's going, he's going to feel okay. That is a tremendously useful connector. It's not quite as good as my spiral cave from the pod area to Dark Flute 5 yesterday, which I think may have been an actually like life-size spiral cave. But
oh my goodness,
still pretty bad.
And
But yeah,
we had
because he
burnout.
checked that, like, this route is going to work nicer for PlasmaKappa than it will for wallshv, because now wallshv is making this walk down to the south a second time, whereas PlasmaKappa didn't even end up having to do it once because he got spit out in Desert Right, which is
yeah, exactly,
really nice.
Yeah,
and it's some of them are on skill and a lot of them sometimes are just on luck, but like these are little things that kind of can help people gain 20-30 second advantages, which aren't large in any individual context, but over the course of a seed, like, absolutely add up.
Exactly, and it's like when it comes down to it, that's what I love about this mode so much when it comes to Crosskeys, is that it's not about like, oh, making the right choice, because you never know what the right choice is. It's just like you don't know if that connector is going to bring you to somewhere convenient, or it's going to lead you on a wild goose chase when you could have walked next door and it would have brought you there. So it's just it's one of those things that where just the slightest divergence can mean 2-3 minutes in the difference, and throughout the game it's just that can decide a winner easy.
Yeah, and I think one thing that really separates the best runners in this mode from a lot of people is that they put themselves in the best positions so that luck matters less. As apparently Desert Palace is a crystal.
Oh.
As we see that on rdwalshv's side. Yeah. Where, like, you put yourself in positions where good things can happen to you, or you are more risk tolerant against bad things happening to you. And speaking of that Skullwoods Big Key, and that Desert Palace being a crystal, there is the Desert Palace Big Key in the Skullwoods Big Chest.
Exactly, yep. Very, very nice find.
Luckily for our runners, neither one's going to be really orphaning that today, because both of them are going to have the Skullwoods Big when they go there.
Yeah, exactly.
But when that Skullwoods Big sucks, it really sucks. Because it's one of those places that's just kind of bad in general to get back to.
Yes. Yeah, but getting that Skullwoods Big just before you get in there is just, it's nice. It's really nice to just be able to get that check out of the way so you don't have to dive back in. This layout, I'm not sure how I feel about this layout.
Yeah. I was saying, sort of to the point where I was saying, we're like, really good runners at this mode put themselves in positions to do it. Like, that's also why you will find players that will defer going to Skullwoods even when they could, because they're trying to be a little bit more sensitive about, I don't want to create these orphans because I know they're going to be very, very bad to come back to. Now, that also leaves opportunities to route against them by sort of playing counter to what they tend to do. Which is where sometimes a lot of the like one-on-one and meta knowledge can actually come into play in this mode.
Oh, most definitely. It's one of those things that if you know that they're going to take the safe way, and you feel like you're behind, which you always do anytime you're playing Crosskeys, you just always feel that you're behind when things start to get a little tricky, when you're trying to find your last locations of items, that if you feel that your opponent already has some checks done because they play safe, or that they're going to be doing these safer checks, you can take a risk and climb GT well before anybody else normally would.
Yeah, I almost think that patience is one of the like really defining characteristics of a lot of the best Crosskeys players. Is that they sort of have this really good understanding of when do I go for something, when do I try to sort of push the tempo of a seed, and when do I play in a more defensive, more kind of full cleary manner.
When I think about like taking one of those just big risk plays, I think about, I believe it was the last match. It was 2 years ago. The last match that Violet Pumpkin played, and
there's a name I've not heard in many. Anyway,
in 2 years, I know. But the last match against Andy that Violet Pumpkin played, she took a huge risk and just climbed GT instead of doing, I think it was one of the sides. It was like left side or right side, and it was like, I'm behind. I feel behind. I know I'm behind, and I'm just going to bank on Andy not doing this first because that's ridiculous, and hopefully I can get that win.
Yeah, and the interesting is, depending on the race state, like that can actually be the safer choice. Depending on how you think about the game, that can come out as the safer choices to make kind of that sort of a play, even though it's very, very easy. I don't know if that death was intentional or not.
Not sure.
I would guess that death is probably intentional.
Oh yes, actually I think Plasma did the same death. Plasma took the same death there?
I don't think so, because he got the second Skullwoods key from...
Oh, right.
Do we know what's on the pyramid for the drop down? I think it is a one-item cave. I believe it is the Thieves drop down that we have not seen yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen Thieves. We've seen Useless Fairy, we've seen Bat, I think the only one that we haven't seen is Thieves.
So basically, on that key, rdwalshv had one of two choices. It was either A, grab the key to the left here in the middle part of Skullwoods, or B, he could go that extra room in the front and grab the one that's a guaranteed vanilla key there, and should always remain a guaranteed vanilla key. Don't at me. And this layout actually worked out very, very well for rdwalshv because it meant there was absolutely no time loss in that. But you have to grab, or you don't have to grab one of them, but if you do grab one of them, or if you don't grab one of them, you put yourself in a position of the possibility of finding Skullwoods with a fire source and not a small key to go through it, which is one of the most infuriating things in this entire game. And I think rdwalshv is going to head to right side Hyrule Castle and go back to where his route got kind of interrupted last time. And speaking of the fire source for when you find Skullwoods,
there we are. Oh, that's nice. Now, where was that entrance into? Well, we'll see it now in a sec.
I suspect we're about to see it.
Thank you. See, our tracker, restreamer, everybody else is paying much more attention than I am.
Have we seen anything that gives us logical access to this area yet? If I'm reading Kappa's tracker right, we don't.
No.
I mean, there's the connector from, it looks like, Dark Death Mountain that took them to Dark Shopping Mall. Which is, of course, really nice.
Another pod small there. We have another pod small and another pod small. Okay.
I know what I'm doing after this.
Paying off.
I know exactly what I'm doing after this. If I'm rdwalshv, I am finishing my route. I am saving and quitting. I am starting at Sank, and I am going to pod and grabbing as many items as possible. Toffel, I don't send seeds to people because you only send seeds to people if they're bad. And I don't want people I like playing seeds that are bad because they're bad.
No, that's how you put them in their place. That's how you assert dominance. Send them bad seeds.
Look, if you've ever met my dog, you would know that I don't believe anything about asserting dominance. That dude's go-to move when he sees a new dog is to sprint at the dog and then do a lunging leap and flip in midair to show his belly.
Aww. I love Indy. We have a hammer. We have a hammer, folks, inside the back of Desert. Well, not the back of Desert, but you know, the back room of Desert.
I'll be honest. I'm over Desert.
Ooh.
I'm over Desert Map Chest. Just delete it.
Big key. That is a big key on the my goodness, the torch in Desert. And Desert Big Chest is giving us hook shot. Whoa. Okay.
Well, this just got interesting, didn't it?
Yeah, very, very true, Chad. Something is telling us to go to pod.
This is quite the desert palace.
Yep. Oh. Not doing the save and quit here. Okay, okay.
I think he wants to check the third exit out of desert.
Yeah, checking the center, yeah.
Which, I mean, makes a lot of sense, especially because this desert is not in a particularly good location to get back to.
Yeah, he took a second to, you know, realize that he needs to go back and do that check, but very excited about pod, I'm sure, is what made that muscle, that just, you know, reflex go, okay, alright, going now, save and quit. But no, all checks done there. Okay, where you headed?
I think he's just gonna
continue new route.
make his way back, which I think this is significantly slower than just saving and quitting would be. That being said, I understand that it can be very, very difficult to remember that vanilla Dark World portals is a thing that you are actually allowed to do in Crosskeys.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure it would have been significantly faster to save and quit and head to and just start at Link's house and go into this portal here if you wanted to do that. But I think this is him making the way to pod. We'll see if he goes to the pod area or what. This is going to be kind of unfortunate for PlasmaKappa.
Yeah, Plasma is going to be dipping in here a little further, where he could save himself an extra dip by if he had all those keys.
His best case scenario here is going to be finding a pod key on the right side and then being able to get most of the checks that rdwalshv is going to be able to get.
We got some mitts though, so he has mitts.
Yeah, he has in logic mitts too, which are really nice. You don't super love doing smiths and that stuff, but early mitts are very, very nice convenience items. They really make routing a lot better because this portal does not cost 18 years to go through, which it does with the hammer and glove.
Very true, very true. And going through Spiral on rdwalshv's side, but he already did. Was he the one that already did this, and he's just doing it again?
No, this is Kappa.
Okay, Kappa did that. Okay.
But that does mean I think for both of them we've orphaned this pod entrance pretty hard.
Yeah. But... Hope those bombs were worth it, buddy.
I mean,
you can only hope that orphan check is
go to pod. He's going for hookshot K first. That makes sense. But then
okay, yeah, that's true.
Go to pod. Weird. Is anyone else hearing a voice?
No. You're having a moment.
There's a spot you don't really want to go back. Normally I'm a big proponent of the Misery Mire dip in Crosskeys, but with that Misery Mire location, no thank you until I can clear it.
Exactly, yeah.
Go to pod. Wait. Seriously, is it just me? Is no one else weird?
Oh, I can't hear. Somebody else might hear it, but
Toffle, who let Goomba on comms? As meanwhile, Plasma's going to get the first crystal out of the way.
there we go.
rdwalshv successfully passes the intelligence check and remembers he already did that chest.
Good.
I am a lot more guilty of the reverse of that intelligence check of forgetting I haven't done that chest.
It's thorough. You're being thorough. And
no. I'm the opposite of thorough in that. It is. I go. Oh, okay. Well, I've clearly done this already. Let's walk down the middle then. Meanwhile, my mirror.
Oh. No.
Kappa's gonna pick up the smiths here. I wonder how long we're gonna get the smiths around for.
See a little dig game action over on Kap's side.
We did find the smith house. It's up by Lumberjack. Which is kind of a gross spot, honestly.
I'm liking this MSU. It's a nice dig game music. Just a compass. Not touching that.
Wow, I cannot believe there was a small key to the Palace of Darkness in the Palace of Darkness.
That never happens.
Ooh, I am stunned. Hold on, I need to take a seat to recover from this.
Emotional support animal required. We got some powder over on rdwalshv's side out of the little harmless hellway.
I was saying, as much as I don't particularly enjoy doing it, if a bow shows up in any sort of short order, you really got to think hard about going for Helmosaur King.
And we got a book.
It's 2 items compared to where it normally would be 1, and not only is the sea kind of screaming at you logically, I guess you could also argue that flute might be the logical play here. Especially combined with the mitts that are there.
And we got our ether medallion over in the dark room in pod, dark maze.
But we're about to activate the flute here, and I might guess his first play is going to be the Mire.
That's pretty smart choice.
I wouldn't be surprised necessarily to see something else like a fake flipper to like Hylia into Ice Palace or something like that, under the pretext of being a little bit reserved in going to Mire and hoping you can delay just long enough to get a mirror. But Mire's also so fast to get back to, it's really not a big deal if you leave those spots.
Where you going, buddy? Oh, going Dark World.
Maybe grabbing the smith here? Actually, did he have the hammer when he was it the first time? He might also be doing Hammer House. No, he didn't have the hammer.
No.
So he might be doing Hammer House as well.
Yep. Hammer House, yeah.
Hammer House, he may do Hammer Pegs, or he may just say, I'm going to pick up the Smiths and save and quit. Are kind of the 2 options you have here as rdwalshv.
Yep. Oh, upgrade? Okay. I mean, just for a laugh.
Yeah, with the money that he has, I'm not sure I would have gone for it, but...
Okay, he's skipping Hammer Pegs, and he is going...
Yeah, he wants to do Hammer Pigs and... He may not have done... Okay, he must not have...
Yeah,
Yeah, because he saved and quit out of somewhere.
Yeah, I think he saved and quit out of the top left.
Out of desert, maybe?
Yeah, something. So he hasn't done his dig game. You will see that that compass on dig game now in a minute, and he'll walk away from that. Unless it just drops into him.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but it does happen.
Oh, and we're doing an upgrade fairy on Kappa side as well. Everybody want them bombs.
See Stumpy probably into the save and quit here, and meanwhile Plasma's should have turned in the Smith already, so he's just gonna grab purple chest out of that.
Alright, hammer pegs, what's in here? Nothing.
Oh no, he hasn't actually turned in the Smith yet. So
No, he's just taking a world tour here.
rdwalshv, man of my heart, going for the whirlpool. Although with not having the flippers, you lose a good chunk of your time that you would get from.
Ah yes, Walsh hasn't gotten his fire source yet. So seeing Plasma go right on into Ice Palace here.
Yep. Meanwhile, Kappa can literally just beat Ice Palace and full clear it, so not a hard decision to make.
Oh, definitely not.
I don't remember where Blind Sight was at. I thought it was off of South Dark World somehow. But was it Hype Cave? Okay, it was South Dark World then. Fire Rod's in Spec Rock, which is at Dark Potion Shop, Rob.
I did not catch a glimpse of what the Mire entrance was. I didn't see the medallion on that one. Oh, getting a big key to Mire over on Walsh's side. They're on Laser Bridge. And another big key to Swamp.
Womp, womp, womp.
Swamp, swamp,
Alright,
swamp.
kind of disappointing Laser Bridge, but
yeah.
The Mire Big at least is something decent. And especially if they can find the cane sometime soon, it will be a relief to be able to single dip that dungeon.
Okay, it's Quake for the Mire entrance today. And there are our boots on Walsh's side.
Yeah, that's not... I mean, I'm not surprised to see something high value in this Mire area, given kind of the logical force. There's more value right here.
Yep.
But especially given, like... It's a lamp out of logic, but given the pod key placement and what was in logic, it seems fairly safe to me to assume, hey, there's going to be progression here, and the lamp is just out there in purple chest, in Ice Palace, in what have you.
Now. Another bottle over on PlasmaKappa side.
Yep, there is still that Sphere Zero Pendant Eastern Palace that no one deigned to go into. Sigh.
And GT small in GT. As well as red meringue. Red meringue is bay.
Red meringue is great. Especially when you don't have flippers.
Speaking of flippers.
He's a witch.
I could probably find a duck that doesn't weigh as much as you.
Did they need the lamb to go to Eastern Palace? Or to Death Mountain? I don't think that's true. I don't think the Skullwood's big key was on Death Mountain, which would have put getting there in logic. Oh, actually, wait, no, because they got there via Connect. No, because that was available. No, I actually think the lamp doesn't lock Death Mountain. It locks the way they got there, but doesn't actually lock it. Oh yeah, that's right. It was just glove locks. Yeah, no, the hook shot and the connector get you there. That's more Turtle Rock stuff.
Yeah, big key Turtle Rock, small key to ice.
Where was Ice Big? Was in Paradox Cave, right?
I think
That's actually a really so. If RD Walsh goes to Ice before Paradox Cave, that's a huge deal. It's not just a time save; like that's a last location fodder if he goes into Ice without it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that will be orphaned until something bad happens. So hopefully he makes his way to Paradox Cave first.
Just gonna watch the cold stare because there's nothing happening in the left for about 30 more seconds.
Yeah, cold stare's going down, rewarding us with a big red. And our third pendant. We have all crystal knowledge between our two runners. Eastern is still a mystery to Plasma, but once Plasma gets that information by
I told you,
checking the map.
You just get it by it falling from the heavens every time.
Yep.
That being said, two pretty important items in Ice Palace. Since you need the flippers and you need that Castle Tower key.
Yeah, we need the flippers, we need... What else do we need? Flippers, ice rod... Couple of big keys are needed. Oh, there's our second sword, and there's our small key to Swamp. Behind Ice Armos.
That's a full clearable Swamp Palace, although it is one key out of logic. Once he gets the flippers, obviously, which requires a fire source. But here comes PlasmaKappa with the Palace of Hutness.
Yes, Palace of Darkness starter kit.
I mean, I guess if you think about it, it kind of makes sense that Blind's Hut has the keys to darkness.
Fair. And I shouldn't say starter pack, more so a booster pack.
And yes, that is true. They do need to find the dam.
Yes, right. Dam is not found yet.
That might be. Well, we'll see when he finds Paradox Cave. That's an awkward map check for RD Walsh.
But it did give him the pendant ice knowledge.
That's the problem, though, because he wants to go there.
Yeah, so he is now fully fully dungeon knowledged. He knows all crystals, all pendants, and that can definitely have him put off Ice Palace until the last possible moment.
I mean, that being said, Ice Palace is still a tremendously efficient play as a whole. Like it's Ice Palace and Mire are probably two of the 3 most efficient plays in Crosskeys. If you make the assumption that you're not going to be able to like do Turtle Rock in a single clear, like the compactness of both Ice and Mire are really, really good. And nothing there.
I gotta say, we are just creeping up to the 1 hour mark here, and this has been a pretty speedy seed, if I do say so.
Yeah, they've gotten quite a bit. They've gotten a pretty decent logical force. Kappa now going to...
Yeah, we're gonna see the
Interesting.
the pot. Okay, let's see if Hera pot. There we go. First try, nice.
Yeah, and this is nice for him to have, to be able to do, although it is going to bring an Orphan of the Hera Big Chest in play.
Yes.
That being said, it's not that big of a deal, because Hera's so accessible that once you get back there, you could just go in there and just immediately Hera pot right back up.
Yeah, it's not a huge time sink to have to come back, even if it is a last location sort of thing. It's a very quick check to kind of go back to. I'd say between the two of them, when it comes to the current risk of isolating some key checks, is between Ice and Hera. I think Hera is a little less punishing and a little less likely to hurt Kappa than the pendant Ice would be for Walsh.
Yeah, I think all things being equal, I probably like Kappa's state here a little bit better. Walsh is going to get some efficiency advantage gain from those boots at least. But he has done, and that's a big find. And could be a really big problem for Kappa. Because there's no way he can do the Smith chain with the mirror now.
Yep, that's
and
huge.
He didn't turn in the Smiths earlier. And so if he had turned in the Smiths, then he would have been able to... I think if he had turned in the Smiths, he would have been able to grab the purple chest when he checked hammer pegs. He didn't, and so now it's just when he wants to go back. And it's just a big efficiency win in general to have the mirror, because you can just... It's so much easier to manipulate late world, dark world state and similar.
And we got Mire and Desert as our 5/6 crystals on Kappa's side, as being known. And Kappa doing that check in the dark world for crystal knowledge, which should... they still haven't checked the light world. So once they check the light world, there you go. Now they know.
Yeah, it feels like Kappa may be waiting for a bow if he can swing it in order to clear out Pod while he's there. rdwalshv using Ether and Mini Moldum Cave. Beautiful. Pretty much the fastest way you can do that.
Oh yeah. No messing around. And nothing. Nothing of value.
Also, I would like to strike and reverse my position of saying I liked PlasmaKappa's position better. Because no longer true.
No. Just a big 20 there. And let's see. That's a GT small over on Kappa's
Not a
side.
particularly impactful item.
No, but it's good to keep in mind with logic if there is anything that needs to be hunted down there.
That does put... What did we find behind Isermos again? Small? No.
Yes, was it Swamp Small? Yes?
Okay, yeah, that does put the Swamp Small in logic.
Yeah. 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 I had to remind myself, but I was like, yeah, there's nothing else here that's really important that Walsh has except for Swamp Small. Well, I mean, he does have other very useful items, but the Swamp Small was the one that I reasoned out was the one that I had pointed out when it was picked up.
And we should, unless it's into Mire or Turtle Rock, now we should also have the ability to get wherever the dam happens to be.
Yeah, and we're getting those checks up at the top of Hyrule Castle here on Walsh's side, taking full advantage of that mirror.
Yeah. Has to feel pretty decent about the fact that... I mean, he kind of has to feel good about that mirror in general. Like, it's slightly a logical force, but also at the same time, a really early purple chest is not a thing that's in a lot of people's playbooks.
Yes. It's, and you were saying before this, this race started, how both of these runners kind of, just go with the flow, and can make some odd choices. So this is definitely what we're seeing on Walsh's side, where he did that purple chest play early.
Zadar Fire Rod was at Spectacle Rock, which is at Dark Potion Shop. There's also the potential that you could hover it from the other side. I don't think rdwalshv is a hoverer, and we haven't seen the other side even if he is.
But Dark Potion Shop is an area that I see him making his way to before he before too long.
Yeah, I suspect he will be unless there's a connector that he wants to follow off the pyramid here. I suspect he will be heading up there right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that CT small is in a very precarious position. Being inside a pendant ice palace inside the big chest, it's something that can very easily be put off.
And here's the flute and key 5 for RD Walsh, or for PlasmaKappa.
Yes.
RD Walsh, meanwhile, heading out from the pyramid.
And Walsh up to a Cheeto sword, so that is very nice.
Is he going to pod from here?
Oh, wait. Light World. What are you doing here? What's here?
Oh,
Oh, okay, yeah, Mimic Cave, yeah. That makes sense.
He should have done that as he was going by. I think he just forgot and realized at the castle that he should have.
A little bit of pocket change.
A little more useful to Kappa than to RD Walsh, honestly, who's
Oh,
kind of
definitely.
broke.
Yeah. Walsh is very, very well equipped now when it comes to.
Oh, but he
funds.
is actually following Bumper Cave.
Okay.
So that's not great for the Fire Rod.
Yeah. Okay, where are you
And
going?
to make it even worse, look where it spits out
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah, no flippers on hand. Sorry, bud. Thank you for that moment of silence.
It's very important that we respect the music.
Yes. Respect the goose. Respect the duck.
If I'm counting right, unless the dam is in Meyer Thieves Town or Meyer GT, I think we're 3 items for go, right? We need Ice Rod, we need Cane of Samaria, and we need Thieves Town Big Key. And we also need to find the Back of Skullwoods. So also if we need that. But... Make that 2.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, and the Castle Tower Small, of course.
Yes, yeah, we still need that other castle tower.
So now
small.
we're 3 items for go.
Yeah. Yeah, the bow is up in the air on if that will be required for us. It depends on where our other items are.
Yeah, I kind of expect none of these runners are in all of a rush to find a bow.
Yeah, no, at this point it's like if I never see the bow, I'll be happy because that means that there's less for me to worry about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we're getting some little kind of one-off checks here on Walsh's side. We're getting the my goodness, my brain can't word for that thing. Tablet.
Bombos tablet?
There we go. I didn't know the word for tablet for a second. No, I knew Bombos. I knew it was Bombos. But I couldn't remember tablet, and I didn't want to start saying it because I knew I didn't know the other word.
Understandable.
Monolith. Tombstone.
Walsh at this point is probably going to go
Epitaph.
through the different... I could get behind calling it the Bombos Epitaph.
Wordy rock.
Okay. There's a potential risk for rdwalshv diffused. Because he's going to get the ice big now.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. The big is very important. And the decision to go into that pendant dungeon is also going to be very important, but he won't make that decision until he has a fire source to get in, which requires him to go a little ways out of the ways.
Yeah, in a pretty bad spot for him.
Yeah, he followed that connector, and he couldn't have known better, but it was a done goof moment.
Have we seen anything? Yes, we have seen that required the mirror. Okay, never mind. So Plasma is going to have to get that mirror because of the Thief's 10 big key.
Yeah.
Oh, rdwalshv has not listened to the voice of the seed telling him to go to Dark Potion Shop.
No! Okay, well, this is going to take a moment. I'm going to run and get a cold beverage because it is still really hot in this room and I am thirsty. I'll be right back.
I don't know if PlasmaKappa can mimic Clip. I also suspect it is unlikely he is going to. Also, I'm pretty sure Fighter Sword's going to be faster than this hammer play. Like, it's just so much harder to hit with the hammer here. Guess I'm looking on the left side though while we wait for nothing to happen on the right side. Alright. And there is Skull Wood, so that's another requirement for the mirror. Thankfully for rdwalshv, he can beat this dungeon even without the fire rod, because this would suck to get back to.
Yes. having that lamp on hand was a nice find, because yeah, he would hate to have to come back here.
Lamp was at Hype Cave, which is at the race game. Left side. Not sure about that priority. I mean, if he finds the Cane of Samaria before he climbs, there's absolutely no cost to him unlocking that door. But I probably would have done the Hope Room just first, and then saved and quit from the back of GT. And here comes the Mothula fight for what should be rdwalshv's first crystal.
Yes. Which is kind of nuts, but he's been exploring other avenues while Kappa had been clearing out a couple of dungeons.
Logically, it does look like the Smith Chain was holding up a lot of stuff. And depending on how well Plasma tracks the logic here, he might actually be able to zoom in on the mirror kind of aggressively. I mean, like, the flute is locked by the mirror because of the lamp, which means everything over here is locked by the mirror.
Yep.
Like, the flippers aren't mirror locked, but like all that pod stuff was locked by the mirror. Like it This is a fundamental misunderstanding that people have. Okay, well, we'll see if okay, not even gonna bother trying.
No. There's been a lot that's kind of been locked behind that mirror, and you just kind of hope that the chest gets done in some sort of timely fashion, while we also hope that on Walsh's side he takes a look
there right
at
now.
this.
I was saying, and he's getting he's starting the first steps now.
Yes. There we go. We got that fire rod over on Walsh's side. So, Ice Palace?
We're certainly at least up to a double dip of pod logically green. Since the mitts you need, and then those lock the mirror, which lock the lamp. I think it's very important to... It's certainly not important as a Crosskeys runner to follow logic, but it becomes very important to track logic. And it's exactly for a situation like this, where you are trying to avoid doing stuff that you logically can't reach behind the item you need.
Yes, exactly. Or if you do it, you need to be aware of, okay, what am I missing? What items do I have that I needed that for? Because the second that you pick up something and you know that that was locked by X, Y, or Z, you need to realize that it's like, okay, where can that be before you as you start to open up the seed, because you want to know what you were actually limited to before you had that item.
Yeah. And this might just be... I'm not tracking Kappa's individual logic close enough to know if he has other stuff here. But this could theoretically be a last play in logic for him for this mirror. Obviously, he has plenty of other things to do, but it's very aggressive to say, I'm just not going to care about this mirror. Because it's kind of the most important item in Crosskeys. Yeah, I'd do Smiths over that.
I'm sorry, but the hate on Bugnet not being the most important item in Crosskeys that I do not accept.
Okay. Yep, and Walsh is going to full clear this out. So Walsh is going to start kind of catching up progression-wise, as Kappa's going to have to catch up to Artie Walsh item-wise a little bit.
Yes, exactly. We need to get these... Walsh is going to be focusing on dungeons now, with so many items can start clearing things fully, entirely. And Plasma is kind of darting around. Hopefully we'll go straight to Purple Chest after this.
Yep. And I suspect he kind of has to.
Yeah, it's a pretty aggressive play. Like, he went straight for it, so deciding to do Smiths and not flying it. No. Okay, he's taking a bit of a detour. Okay, he's opening up the entrance. Which, I mean, makes sense. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, if you got the mirror first, it probably would have been faster to mirror to it, but... Not a huge time sink.
Oh, okay. Nope.
Okay.
Scary moment there for Kappa. I will say, depending on the layout of how Go Mode shakes out, Walsh is going to be very, very happy if CT big or CT small isn't his Go Mode. Because he was not able to grab the item on Zora Ledge because he didn't have the flippers or anything to splash delete with. Which means that likely what will happen if he ends up being a CT small for Go Mode is he's going to make that trip over to Zora Ledge for the small key.
Yes.
Which is going to be a 1+ minute waste of time.
It really will, yeah. Having that visible, having that seen, and that's going to be a much faster, a much easier choice to make when hunting for a small key than
I missed what was
diving
on
into
pen,
dungeons.
but I suspect chat would be going crazy if it was anything. So I'm guessing.
Yeah, chat has stalled. Piece of heart. Okay, a little bit of love.
Yeah, RD Walsh kind of going by the old adage of like, first do the things you have to do. After that, you can start doing things that are efficient plays that you might want to do, like Ice Palace.
Yeah, like there's a good enough number of checks in there that it shouldn't deter him for too long. But of course, when you got crystals at the ready, do the crystals, because if you find your progression while you're doing those, then you don't have to touch those pendants ever.
Yep.
Speaking of never touching a pendant, we still haven't touched a bow yet, so that's kind of nice.
Don't want to see one this entire seed if I'm a runner.
Yes, exactly. At this point, with all the knowledge that they have, all the items that they already have, and they're only hunting for a couple of things, if they see a bow, they're going to be upset.
And here's the Palace of Darkness entrance. Trying very hard to not go to Pyramid Item without a mirror.
Yep.
Which, unfortunately, well, maybe fortunately we'll probably get him it before he goes there.
Exactly. Yeah. You hope the choice will be made. Now we're going down, so no, because it has to be Dark World. So okay, we're doing an Eastern dip. Okay.
God, I hope there's something good in here.
Yeah. Knowing it's a pendant, having no bow in hand, banking on the fact that you will not have to go past the bow lock part, but if there is something in there, you know, I can understand this play on Kappa's side. It's saying, you know, well, leading up to the back of this.
No.
Oh, okay, nope. And we're going to take down blind here on Walsh's side. Stick to the script and it won't take you long.
No, should be a pretty clean, easy fight. He's going to come in for crystal number 3 here. So going to give Walsh his first crystal lead of the seed.
There we go, down goes blind. Let's see, what are we grabbing? Just a big red. Nothing exciting.
I have no idea what Kappa's sprite is. It may even just be a custom sprite.
And Bloomerang in the big chest of Eastern. Not finding that progression we're looking for.
Oh, and this is lamp locked from as well. I mean, you're still going to do it while you're there, but...
Oh, exactly. This is this is an easy dark room to kind of dive on through, so it's not too difficult for even the beginner.
Yeah, for sure.
It's free real estate.
So this...
Oh,
no!
No, you shouldn't have come in here. You shouldn't have come in.
Okay, so this is actually... Honestly, there's a good chance I'd probably kill Armos Knights there anyway in Kappa shoes.
Yeah, honestly,
But
yeah.
the reason he saved and quit there was because that was lamp lock. I mean, Armos is always lamp locked anyway, but like knowing, hey, I'm out of logical stuff, the most likely item that's going to be showing up here is the mirror.
Yes.
It's not on Armos Knights unless the lamp is on one of the like 3 spots I have left. That being said, if the bow is required, that is a trash fire spot.
Yes, it really is.
And it warms the cockles of my heart as an Eastern Palace dipper to see that happen.
I love it because I love a good trolley seed, and this seed's been weird, but it hasn't been that trolly. This seed's been pretty generous when it comes to giving our runners what they want and what they need. But that's the little, you know, M. Night Shyamalan twist that I want to see in a seed.
Yep, and here comes Artie Walsh. He's gonna pick up the major items he's missing.
Yes. Thank goodness. Making that right choice at this point. Yeah, there's still things that we need. We still haven't found the dam between our 2 runners. And when it comes to location checks, it could, who knows, might be behind 5-6. You don't know.
It's not that he's betting that the cane is in Misery Mire. It's that Misery Mire is by far his largest source of in-logic checks right now. But like I said, like, if the cane's not in here, if you can get the cane without going into Mire, oh, you're gonna feel pretty bad.
Exactly. Yep. You don't want to have to see those kinds of things, but you always do in a seed. You always do. At some point, there's going to be something that I just ran through this dungeon and dipped it, and the one item that I could have full cleared it in one go was literally in my next check.
This is an interesting Mire route, and I suspect it's again an extension of what's in logic and what isn't in logic. Because logically, left side of Mire is going to need all 3 keys. But you are routing significantly slower through Mire at the cost of trying to hug logic as hard as you can here. And I think this is probably a little bit too much towards that. Even if you run out of magic, you can go... no, you go to cutscene chest first. And then you loop back around to the top. It's not because you run out.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's because he was tracking logic. He probably wasn't. You're probably right. But I'm going to obstinately stick to that lie. Whoa! No.
Okay, GT small. My goodness. Do we have all GT smalls over on Kappa side now?
Yes.
Oh.
Also, I think if you're routing like this, you probably should be doing cutscene chest last and should have done bridge chest while you were up there. Because now it's just going to be a really awkward run back to the bridge chest, even though normally I like to end on a bridge chest because it sucks to leave from. But he's going to have to go from this portal and then run all the way back. Or skip bridge chest, whichever.
We are heading towards the back of Myra on Kappa's side, And Walsh is still ice physicsing his way through the palace.
Alright.
There we
Nothing
go.
in Mire.
No.
Except for a potentially relevant GT key.
Yes, that is very...
Or,
Very
sorry,
possible.
potentially logically relevant. It will not
Yes.
be relevant for the runners, although it does mean that there's no cost to Kappa opening the door in the front.
Yeah.
I'll say it's not unreasonable to think that we might be needing to get a medallion to find the dam here.
Yeah, it might be behind a medallion, might be behind 5-6. Who knows? Who knows? There's a few options. There's a few options for us.
I mean, reasonably speaking, opening the middle door can be a faster thing to do. But you need to have the keys to support it, or you can key screw yourself.
Yes.
Like, it is a time save to do.
Yeah, like, logically, you will get access to any keys that are hard required, so it wouldn't be that you, like, you know, soft lock yourself from being able to access any progression that might be behind a key that you spent opening that middle door. But it's a matter of how accessible that key is, how deeply buried it is.
Yep.
You don't generally want to burn it if you don't know where the other keys are.
Green, I suspect the answer is right now. I don't know what he would be doing right now other than going to purple chest. And that is the fact. So he's going to pick up this mirror here.
Finally.
Is probably not going to be very happy with it.
Well, he'll be happy that he has it, but he's going to be very upset about how long it took him to get it.
I'm not sure he's going to be happy about anything. I certainly wouldn't be.
There will be some salt.
What are we going here for?
Never checked it.
Ah, you're right, he didn't. Okay, that makes sense. And given that he's looking for, well, he's found, we haven't been on Turtle Rock Bridge yet, right? I suspect that's what he's looking for because he wants to find the dam here.
Yes.
And so he suspects there's a good chance that it's just like his connection to the dam that's getting there. And of note, still needs to find Castle Tower.
So Plasma has that mirror in hand at last. How long of a difference is that? Over half an hour at least, I'd say.
That's a good point. We didn't see Spec Rock exit. That's a pretty easy place to get to for Walsh. I mean, for both of them, I guess, now, because I'm pretty sure Kappa has checked that already. In fact, I think from PlasmaKappa's perspective, it makes a lot of sense as a route to go when you go to do Graveyard. Like, you go into Bumper Cave, check Late World Bumper Cave, drop down, go to Graveyard Ledge, and then from there you can just not even go back into the Dark World and just jump down to King's Tomb. And that can take you to where you want to go. Actually, have we seen Left Side Turtle Rock yet? No, we haven't.
No.
Say that.
No.
So that's another thing that we can...
Far.
Yeah, no. That's another pretty good spot for it to be in. Kappa should be able to check it here pretty easily after he does the 4 checks.
Yes. Let's see.
He wants to. I assume he wants to check the other stuff first.
Yeah. Well, this one's dead, so he'll probably just bail right on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And go right back in. Right back in. Yes.
Mm-hmm. By far my favorite rail clip in the game. Light little bonk to go to Turtle Rock left.
Yeah.
I mean, could Bat come into play? Yeah, it's just kind of a check. Have we seen it at this point?
Magic Bat is vanilla.
Because I'm sorry. Have we seen what's in it? Because we've had powder for a while, but no one's checked it.
No, nobody's checked it yet.
Actually, surprised that Plasma didn't when he was trying to narrow down the logic of the mirror. I don't know where the powder was though, so it may not have been in logic.
Possibly, but at this point, it's so close that it's like, oh, back pod. Okay.
So that makes sense on why he's being a little bit stingy on it, knowing that the lamp has to be somewhere first for it to be in play.
Fair.
That being said, I think we're kind of past the point where that matters. Like, you don't care about the lamp anymore if you're Kappa. In terms of things. Like, obviously it matters logically, it's just there somewhere. And until you get to the point where you're like, I'm Kane of Samaria for Go mode, I don't have a lamp, so I'm going to wait to check things. Yep, and there it is. Interesting. That's a low-key pretty bad spot for Walsh to get to.
Yes.
It would be really good for Kappa if he were to find a castle tower small through this connector chain. Because I think the best way for Walsh to check this at this point, if he does need to, is going to be to kill Ganon and then mirror after killing Ganon to check top of the castle.
There is our dam. And that is desert.
Oh!
Now we have right side desert. Okay.
I wanted to burn the witch moment. I mean, even so, that's still...
Whew. Alright.
Like, Turtle Rock left is not a particularly great place to get back to here. Either way, this is... I suspect we're going to see the swap play from Kappa here somewhat. Oh. Huh. That's not great to get to.
Nope.
I was saying, like, this is RD Walsh now coming back with the flippers to see, is this my castle tower small? And so this is the... So Kappa's going to start clawing time back here, I think. We're going to see.
Yeah. And we are doing that swamp play on Kappa's side. Makes total sense.
And we are once again down to 2 items for Go mode.
Yes.
Kappa needs the cane and the ice rod. Walsh also needs the
that
second
small.
castle tower key.
Yeah.
That being said, that second castle tower key is almost unmissable.
Yes.
Given the dam's positioning.
Yep.
If you're getting really greedy and really trying to cut corners, maybe you're like, it's just in the dam, so I'm going to skip checking this entrance and just going to go straight to the dungeon. I think that's a bad play, even if you aren't sure the castle tower key isn't there, but... I think you forgot where Magic Bat was. Or maybe he's trying to... Yeah, because he's trying to hunt the dam too, so he's trying to hunt that connector to Turtle Rock Bridge.
Yes. So
and unfortunately, we know this is not it.
No. It is not going to lead him where he wants to be, but it is something he can tick off, so it's, you know... He's at least routing efficiently to get to the connectors.
Oh, actually, this might bail him here.
Yep.
Yep, he's gonna get the castle tower key right here.
Excellent.
So I wasn't sure if we had found floating island yet or not, and if we hadn't, this was the other way to get there. How are we not
There we go.
2 items from Go mode? We need to find castle tower, right? Okay, done.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, no problem. Yes, that is true. We are at least 2 items, potentially 3, depending on whether Castle Tower is in Mire, Turtle Rock, or Pyramid Fairy.
Yes.
And since we can't find Castle Tower, unfortunately, Walsh is going to make the run back to Pyramid. Which I get.
I'm putting my money on Pyramid Fairy.
Well, something like Kane in Swamp would be certainly good for PlasmaKappa there, if that's the case. Actually...
Well, there's our Ice Rod. And there's one of our medallions.
We might be one item for Ganon now.
That's our TR medallion. Ooh.
Do you want to actually do a prediction in chat? Or not in chat, like an actual, like, whatever the hell the predictions are called. They're actually called predictions, right, on Twitch?
Yeah, I think so. I'm
for
not
which
sure.
entrance is Castle Tower?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I would say the options would be what? Turtle Rock, Mire, Pyramid Fairy, or we can't count, and there's a fourth one out there.
Other question mark?
Other announcers are dumb. Call it whatever you will.
I don't get paid enough for this.
That's also a really, really nice sword for Kappa, because I don't know when he was going to get the other one.
Yeah, exactly.
Zelda, the Thieves' Town Big is in Hype Cave, which is in Race Game. That being said, because he's still looking for Skull Woods and because he's still looking for Castle Tower, there is a pretty good chance that Kappa is going to find it naturally. Let's see what we get.
And right into a swamp as well for Walsh.
Oh wait, we can't do predictions because we already have one live. That's sad.
Oh, wait, there's a prediction live?
Yeah, for who will win. That was the very start of the scene. I'm
Wow.
also too amused by the fact that I'm refusing to get rid of the watching without audio.
Oh, the one that's live, that's from a different race.
Oh, what?
Yep. It's your average Link versus Raid Spinal.
Well,
Mission
someone
closed.
forgot to pay that one out.
Yep.
Anyone know who won that one?
Yeah. Because
Alright.
I was going to bet on it. I was going to try to bet if it was still open,
We're-
but it's not open, of course.
And yes, Mott's and CT can begin its tower entrance. That is absolutely true.
Yes.
So that would fall under the other category.
Other?
Also, this is a big moment here for RD Walsh. A potentially game. Okay, so he's gonna go left side first. So if you're supporting RD Walsh, you can take a breath. It's not gonna miss the swamp stuff.
I mean, I'm rooting for chat mostly. I support all of our runners equally. Chat are the winners.
Oh my god, I need a new mouse with a less bad scroll wheel. Trying to get through my Discord list is absolute pain.
Okay, Tom's looking for the results of that race. If they can get the results, then payout is best. Oh, Homemade Beer is saying average Link 1. Oh, others are saying average Link 1. Okay. Just looked at VOD. Excellent. Okay.
Man, announcers are saying your average Link 1. Man, everyone's piling on right now.
Whoa, everybody. I'm so smart. Alrighty.
There you go. Spelled it out for Tom. Hopefully
Yay.
before
Before
PlasmaKappa
it's
has enough
found.
time to check
Exactly.
entrances. I mean, to be fair, he's going to check the other stuff first. So he's going to find Skullwoods here, assuming he goes north. Well, you don't go north first from here, because if you're going to go north first, you want to go to Bumper Cave. Oh, he's going to go north first anyway. Alright, whatever.
Oh.
Nope, he's going south first. Okay.
Okay.
He just took
whichever, you know.
the wrong dash path to go south.
Roundabout.
Okay.
Scenic route.
But he's about to pick up the Thieves' Town Big here.
But a sword.
I do find it funny that neither runner checked race game, though. And here's race game. So this will be the lamp. This will be Thieves' Town for Kappa. So Kappa's going to be down 2 crystals here in a moment. But he has the ability to do them, and he is up the Eastern Dip, and he is up the Mire Dip. That being said, neither of those paid out anything. I believe he's only missing Helmasaur in Pod. There is also the GT climb in play.
Favorite blue ball and wizard. Love it.
Gonna go place a hefty bet with my 500,000 points. Don't mind me.
Ooh.
By
I
half
got-
million, or by hefty, I mean 5,000.
Oh, I got like 34K. You know what? I'm gonna dump it all.
Gonna put it on Pyramid Fairy.
Oh yeah.
You've been leading the Pyramid Fairy cheerleading section, so... I did have a seed once where my go mode was finding GT, and it was in GT, which I always thought was a little bit on the nose.
Okay, I just emptied out every point I have into Pyramid Fairy, so enjoy my points, folks. Enjoy them.
And this is why she only had 35,000 points.
Excuse me. During the 3D relay, I summoned Trez at one point because there was some sort of technical issue, and I summoned him. He was going to be somebody was going to get him anyway.
Trez. Imagine voluntarily choosing to interact with Trez.
I love it. That's what I kind of work towards. I literally try to get enough points so I can summon Trez at just some inconvenient time. I've done it actually a couple of times over the past few years. Oh, there we go. Right side of desert is where the where our Samaria was. There's the cane.
So we're looking for one entrance for go mode.
Yes. Now Kappa still hasn't found the back of Skullwoods.
Mm-hmm. This is Bumper Cave, right? Though, so this is gonna be Bumper Cave, and so he's gonna find Skullwoods here. Unless Castle Tower is in Mire, it's starting to feel like Walsh is on a little bit of a clock.
Yeah.
Although, to his tracker, we should note that he has, in fact, found the Ice Run and Bombos.
Oh.
So he's only really looking for that Cane of Samaria.
Yes. Looking for that cane, and then, of course, entrance hunting.
And now we're going to see just what Kappa goes for when he's looking for stuff. Because he no longer needs to find any dungeons. So he could play, I'm going to go for 7 crystals and hope that it's in the combination of TR/GT. Or he can say, you know what, I'm going to try to check entrances and see if I can scope it out first. That being said, even though Walsh is a little bit on a claw, here we go. Here's his cane. So I would say this swings him back into the lead a little bit.
Yeah, it's all that hunt. It's whoever gets to those entrances first, and it's just which entrance is the one that gives us that answer.
So both runners now are in Finding Castle Tower mode and potentially in Go mode.
Yes. Because it depends on what blocks that entrance.
That being said, I think Walsh is up a little. Like, Walsh obviously is up the Thieves' Town, but I also think he's up entrances checked.
Yeah, just because he had the mirror, he had the boots first, he had access to check entrances that Kappa couldn't for quite some time.
And yes, Cyberchild, that is correct. It is possible they are not in go mode.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because if it's locked behind Mire entrance, for example, we need that Quake Medallion.
Do we know where Turtle Rock front is? I don't remember. Oh, we have found it. No, I remember seeing it now.
Yes.
Right, never mind. I was thinking if we hadn't seen it, then theoretically, Kappa might be using this to get the free teleport to the front. I have to assume at this point both runners are going to assume that one of the 3 entrances they have left is the actual answer, and probably won't be checking other things. And I think Plasma has more than 3 entrances left, in fact.
The bow is in Eastern Palace.
In the Eastern Palace big key chest.
Yeah, so it's a dirty place for there to be a bow. And Walsh will feel real good if he doesn't find it before finishing this seed.
Definitely true.
Ped is a piece of heart, so Ped is dead. But depending on, again, where Aga Tower is, because if Aga Tower is behind Quake Medallion, for example, and Quake Medallion is on Armos Knights in Eastern Palace, then bow is hard required. But we do not know that until they get their checks done and see if they have to do Appended Eastern. Oof. Yuck.
Saying here comes Thieves' Town, and we'll see just how aggressive these runners are feeling, or Plasma's feeling at least. Like, is he going to skip the attic chest? I assume he's going to skip the big chest. Is he going to skip the blind cell chest? Like, all these are relatively close things that could potentially be the answer.
Yeah, because it's one of those things, like, because they have to be thinking now of what entrances do I have left. Both of them know that Quake is Mire entrance, and so
I also wonder. I think
would
Walsh should check Turtle Rock here. Yeah.
Yep.
So I think this is smart because Walsh hasn't been in Mire yet. Which means he has the potential to effectively go straight to Vitreous and be done with the seed if this is Castle Tower. In PlasmaKappa's shoes, I think it makes significantly less sense, and he's also not going to be in a position to check Turtle Rock before he goes to Misery Mire, because he's going to beat Thieves' Town, then go into the portal directly above him, and then run down, and that will be his path to Mire. But that means that he's going to be able to check Turtle Rock and GT at the same time.
Okay, so it was just a shop.
And the Turtle Rock points are busted.
Okay. My odds are getting better here. My odds are getting
Liberal
better.
stonks on the way up.
Yes. Let's see if this market crashes and I lose all of my points.
You said you put about 35,000 on Pyramid Fairy, right?
Yep. Yeah.
I'm looking at the totals. You're basically the Pyramid Fairy bet.
Yes. Yeah. I was 34 something. It was big chunk. Big chunk. There were other bets by the time I got mine in. When I went to start typing mine in, there were 0. But by the time I actually had it submitted, there were other points put in there. So I'm not alone. I won't be the sole winner if I win, which I want to.
I will say, I think if it's Pyramid Fairy or GT, Walsh seems pretty comfortably ahead.
Yeah.
If it's not, this gets a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of spots in the game Quake could be.
Yes. And that's the thing, is that this can still be a full dungeon clear seed. Quake could be behind Green Pendant. It could be on Saha, so...
Pyramid Fairy does not require Quake. The Mire entrance requires Quake, but that's not Pyramid Fairy. You also have really crazy options on things like, if you're Walsh, you mimic clip up GT, because the potential of both bows being in Castle Tower is astronomically small. If you feel like, hey, this is a good play for me, because you know what, like, that's 5 items. If I go to GT and I check right side and it's not there, that doesn't feel like the worst play in the world.
True, very true. And with it being the last check in the front of Eastern is yeah, that's such a dirty spot, and we haven't found another one yet, which is I think it's wonderful.
It'd be worse if the bow was definitely required.
Yes.
Of course, if the bow was definitely required, PlasmaKappa would be comically ahead right now.
There's our Quake. It is on victory.
Oh!
Both of them are about to have it now. Very close together. So
now this is a swing where the order in which they check entrances could swing this race. Because
Yes.
Walsh is ahead, but if, like, it's in GT because Walsh already did Turtle Rock and says, you know what, I'm going to go to Pyramid Fairy first.
Yeah. Okay, he's doing the entrance. Okay, he's doing Mire, so we're gonna get the answer of if it's Mire.
I think this is absolutely the correct thing to do.
Yes.
First.
Yes. Do this one because it's such a quick check. Going to Pyramid Fairy, getting that bomb, that will probably. Actually, I don't know if, which one probably going to prioritize GT entrance or.
Where's that? Where's the other entrance?
Nope. Okay, so it wasn't Mire. Okay. My odds are up.
Stonks!
Stonks. Stonks machine go brrr.
Alright, now let's see where... Actually, hold on. Was Bomb Shop on top of Mountain? Am I remembering wrong? I'm guessing I'm remembering wrong based on where RD Walsh is going. But it might have been Ice Palace? Or Hylia? Well, it's Hylia.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, this is a little bit spicy. Because if it isn't GT, this is going to be insanely close.
Yes. Yep. Oh my goodness. Okay, my hands are sweaty. Knees weak. Arms heavy. Ooh.
Especially if the second bow is in Castle Tower first chest. I know they won't open the second chest. They might open the first chest. I probably wouldn't on their gear. And Walsh is losing time here by not hookshotting to get the bomb dash off. So this is going to give Kappa even more time to check his stuff.
Yep.
But he is going to check Turtle Rock first. Whereas Walsh is going to go from Pyramid Fairy, I assume, and go straight to King's Tomb, I would guess? Or actually, hold on. Where is Hyrule Castle left? I think the fastest way to get there might actually be Hyrule Castle down.
Let's go. Be here. No! I lost all of my stocks!
Let's go!
Okay, everybody who voted either the right answer of GT or somewhere else, because I don't know if GT is our last possibility.
I don't think Walsh has thought about GT.
Oh.
I think that's why he just froze there for a second.
But There are only two other choices here of GT or somewhere else.
So he's doing King's Tomb here. So Walsh is going to be about, God, 10 seconds behind, maybe?
Sweaty.
Bad time for a map check, dude.
What are you doing? Where are you going? Where are you going? What are you doing? Ah! Pyramid Fairy is out, so to any and all who acquire
Oh my god, this is
my
so
many
close.
stocks, please spend them wisely, and by wisely I mean very irresponsibly. Burn it all.
I'm gonna put my points in a low yield investment account. 2% interest a year.
TFSA!
Buy some T-bills. Buttersword shouldn't matter here, though. There it is! Let's go! My stonks!
GT, go.
I guess Buttersword matters now. And it's the virtual tie. Holy... Okay. Okay. And Walsh takes the lead by about a second.
There we go. We are frame for frame here, folks. This is...
So done optimally, this Buttersword shouldn't matter. I said a lot of qualifiers there. And yeah, both of them say I don't care to this.
No, this is go mode. This
Walsh's
is going to be so close.
Collection rate is going to be substantially lower, but I think his entrance rate is going to be higher than Plasma's was.
That makes sense.
Walsh really needs to take some damage here. These sword beams are killing him. Say Kappa, no! And Kappa messes up the hookshot on the thing because he didn't quick swap over fast enough.
I'm just like making noises. Like I'm on push to talk, and every time I want to say something, it's just noises coming out of my mouth. Just.
So, swords should not make a difference here. That being said, the 1-in-1 on Ganon with Buttersword is absolutely foolproof. The 1-in-1 with Tempered on Ganon is not particularly difficult, but it is not foolproof. Also, if they say, "Did you find my silvers in Castle Tower?" I'm gonna fucking lose it. This could all come down to blue ball RNG, except the blue balls are seeded. But this absolutely could come down to Phase 4 execution on Ganon.
Oh,
like, this
definitely.
is one person gets one more triple of difference. Half magic could help too, yeah. I don't think we have time for a bet at this point, Cyber.
Okay. Walsh is just out like 1 second before, okay? But we gotta get to Ganon. We gotta get to Ganon. We gotta get to Ganon right now.
Alright, let's see where they flute. 8 is the right spot. Walsh goes correct. Okay, they both know the whirlpool is the fastest way here.
There we go. Okay. They are... Oh my goodness, this is so close. This is so close.
The correct bet definitely got awarded because my points went up. Can validate.
Enjoy them. Enjoy them. Gamble it all away.
Alright, here's the double spin. Kappa gets it. Okay, we got one cycle from Kappa. Should be a pretty clean one cycle here for Kappa's ball in the phase 2. Would you believe me if I started looking it up? If I told you I started looking it up, Beer?
Oh my goodness! Do it! Do it! What is it? Tell me.
No, I'm pretty sure it's frame perfect at this point. I think they were changed a couple years ago to be frame perfect.
I do remember last year was not as easy as 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I think it was 3 seconds or something. Or...
Oh, that's a big error from Plasma, because he got the extra hit in the first phase, but then ruined it.
Oh my goodness, this is... Come on, folks.
I'll say, and both these runners have already made some mistakes in this one. Or in this fight. Like, they're super small and tiny mistakes, and they matter in 0.1% of races.
And this is the race it matters in.
Oh, and Walsh stuns him. Nope, I think he's got it.
There we go. He has it, he has it, he has it. Oh, they both got it. Oh my goodness, this is so... That was so tight. Get your GGs in chat. It looks like Walsh will be the first to cross the bridge, but it is so close, just by a second. Oh my gosh. GGs in chat. 2 seconds. 2 seconds in the difference. 2:09.25 for RD Walsh and PlasmaKappa. 2:09.27. GG's. Oh my goodness. That was amazing.
That was quite the ending. I don't blame anyone for not opening that chest in Castle Tower.
Yep. I know. Oh my goodness, my heart, my hands are sweaty. I'm dancing. I'm just sitting in my chair dancing right now.
That's the closest race I've ever been on comms for.
I think so. I think for myself as well. That was incredible. That was.
I had a race in one of the Crosskeys tournaments that was a 10-second diff. I've had ladder ones that are like 3 or 4 seconds before, but
2 seconds would have been a tie 2 tournaments ago. So 2 years ago. Last year's tournament, the rules changed to finesse it so that it is much closer for a tie to be required. Whew. So did you all like that? Because I really liked that.
No, I really didn't like that. My blood pressure did not like that.
So good.
Also, I am going to let Blib carry the interview for a bit, because I'm going to be 100% sure that I'm going to check the rules to make sure that it is in fact exact frame and not 2 seconds. I know the main tournament changed. No, actually the rules definitely say within 2 seconds is a tie.
Within
right
2
there.
seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Yep.
So... Okay. So... GG's, both of our runners. GG's. Oh my goodness, that was amazing.
Yeah, thanks. Now. Thank you.
Okay, Yeah, wow. How did you both feel going into that Ganon fight? Could you have even imagined it was that close?
Going into Ganon, I didn't really know what to feel, because, like, I knew that Ice Rod was in a really bad spot, and, like, I don't know, maybe, like, I don't know, like, what situation Kappa would just get that in, but, yeah, like, that wasn't a bad, like, I was feeling good about that. I didn't, like, I made a lot of minor mistakes here and there, and, like, obviously, like, spacing out on GT, like, didn't really feel great, but, yeah, no, like, I was feeling okay during Ganon, like, a little bit nervy, I glued him on the final hit, and then, yeah, so, like, I hit done, it's like, okay, we're safe, and then, like, immediately, see Kappa finish, I'm like, dude, whoa.
Yeah. Check TT big chest. I regret everything.
Oh, it was so good. But honestly, I can't fault you for doing that check at all. Like, going into just those last couple of dungeons, because you did not know until you found which entrance gave you until you found that Quake medallion.
Check TT
You would
big
have to be
chest.
looking for that Quake
I
medallion.
regret everything. Yeah.
And you did, yeah, because you did Thieves Town before you found that.
I did it before my. Yep.
I would say the big advantage of this seed was Walsh got to the mirror, I want to say, half an hour earlier than you did.
That was pretty good, yeah.
Because I think
probably,
you last logical locationed it, I'm sure. I'm also curious which of the chests in Castle Tower were the silvers, if I'm being honest. Because I didn't think... I didn't think they were going to be there, but I mean, there was the possibility, and I understand. Like, and if they weren't there, all of a sudden, like, you have a race that's within seconds. So the good/bad news is I just rechecked the tournament rules because I know things have moved around a little bit. And for this tournament, a within 2 seconds is still considered a tie.
Okay, reasonable.
Which means we're going to need to retime the race to be sure to see if we're actually within 2 seconds or not. But
I'm really happy that I was able to be in an async race last week and now be in a tie this week. I'm just doing a lot of extra work for you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, this is going to because if it is an actual tie, we're going to be seeing you folks again.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
So that was a phenomenal race. Super exciting by the end. Definitely the closest one I've ever calmed on. I will say I thought the Endgame entrance or the entrancing sequencing was really, really interesting. And I would say, Walsh, I think you said that you forgot the GT entrance.
Yeah, like
that's what I assumed when you kind of froze for 3 or 4 seconds outside of Pyramid Fair. I'm like, what is he? I'm like, oh, he doesn't know about GT. Because I've had that be relevant in the GT entrance. I think I've had relevant in, like, what, 2 seeds ever for me, and I can't imagine you guys have had much more than that.
I don't think I've ever had GT be like I think maybe like a daily that I forfeit or something where it's like I'm just gonna go to bed now. Like, but no, I don't think in a like hot second. No,
I had a vanilla GT with a vanilla Ganon once.
Oh, hot.
I had a vanilla. Yep, I had a vanilla GT and with vanilla Ganon and inverted just very recently, so it was on my mind with that crystal sequencing.
Yeah. So, and the other thing too is that the way this ended up is because Walsh hadn't jumped into Mire yet. He had 8 checks in there. And so I assumed part of why you wanted to check Turtle Rock on the way also was that you could say, hey, I can just go mode this and not care about Quake. Of course, it didn't matter because the Quake was just on the trees.
I was very happy to see Quake, like, okay.
Which already Walsh checked right away, but then Kappa, because he didn't check Turtle Rock before going to Mire, because all he had was Vitreous, had the 2 entrance confluence of Turtle Rock and GT, and so it ended up like you guys were within 3 seconds going to Castle Tower, and Kappa had a slightly sloppy first guards in the first room, whereas you were on Gold Sword, so you went through cleanly, and you guys were within like frame of each other going through at that point. Like it was nuts how close it was.
Yeah, you guys were going through the whirlpool at the same time. It was insane watching both of you run that last leg of it. Was just neck and neck the whole time.
I do have a request from Lindo, which is if you guys can cut your streams as soon as possible.
Yep, I'm on that.
So that he can do the retime. Because he's gonna do that to see if we are in fact within 2 seconds.
Yep, gotcha.
That was wonderful. I'm like my hands are still sweaty. I was freaking out. All of chat was freaking out. We all were. It was wonderful. I
wasn't freaking out. I was digging up the tournament rules to see what the time rules were.
That's your own special kind of anxiety there.
So we've driven the conversation a lot. Do either of you have things you want to say about the seed or things that you thought were particularly notable about a pretty strange seed, honestly?
Yeah. Oh well, thanks, Mir. I probably should have figured that out sooner.
Also, rdwalshv, you don't know this. The other bow that was not in Castle Tower, which you didn't get the hit on because you didn't have it, was in the Eastern Palace Big Key chest.
Cool. That's great.
Which Kappa got about 3 minutes, I think, before he got his mirror, maybe?
Yeah, I did that. Then I went to Meyer, which I had been putting off for a few years.
Yeah, that Meyer location was really, really awful. And you really just didn't want to go through it. Yeah, just super weird seed.
We can thank our restreamer for rolling that seed for you folks. It was, I loved it. I loved it. I have to admit, it was weird. It was, kind of trolly at times, but it was so much fun to watch.
It generated some phenomenal content, I gather.
Yep. I was slightly mad when neither of my mountain entrances were in the Dark World.
Those were not particularly good entrances.
Yeah, so I might have to do some weird stuff again, or actually go to Eastern and find a hammer or something. Thankfully, I didn't have to take the Ice Rod area connector more than once.
Yeah, and that connector really did get you sort of back into it, because you had ended up saving and quitting to check your things, and Walsh ended up following through the connector and using that to get South Dark World, which got him the hammer and stuff too.
Yeah.
And so that could have been it still was a little bit of a loss of time because you had to run over to Ice Rod Cave to do the connector, but thankfully you guys didn't have to do that. I am trying to not stall for content. I don't want to rush Lynn because I know he's doing his best to time and make sure that things are as close as possible.
Oh my goodness. Like, I do apologize. I'm still at a loss for words over this. And this being a tie at a 2-2 race is...
Oh yeah, that's happening.
Yes! Yeah. This being 2-2 is, if this comes out to be an official tie and we get the ultimate showdown for who's going up 3-2 and who's going 2-3, is just it's tense. I love it.
I wasn't even thinking of split records. I was just raising Kappa, it kind of I don't know. You kind of just kind of space out in the whole tournament when you're playing. And you're just trying to solve the puzzle and just trying to do the best job you can with it. So yeah, thank you for the reminder. Oh yeah. I could have lost this one.
I think that's a really healthy attitude to have too. Anyway.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I've been spaced out since last week, so
right.
Play the game without thinking about it. Just Crosskeys.
It's just Crosskeys. That's what I love about the Swiss round format for this tournament, is that you get 8 full weeks to just play. It doesn't matter what the stats are. It doesn't matter what's happening. Is that you get 8 full weeks of play. You're not getting booted out, like how 2 years ago when we had the double elimination, that was like,
Yeah.
oh, if you lose 2, okay, well then you're gone. It's 8 weeks with 180 plus people can play all 8 weeks, and you're all in the tournament, and it's the top 16 comes and goes, but the 8 weeks is the exciting. This is where the fun is had.
Yeah, like I think it's amazing Ampharos that says that, like, even if you don't make it to top 16, which is really, really hard to do, like, you're still playing for Swiss placement, which, is, some people aren't really motivated by that, but, I, like, don't really see any reason to, like, quit out of the tournament, like, if I were to lose, like, either this race or the next one or whatever, but, yeah.
The other thing, too, is, like, as you get deeper in the tournament, and obviously I'm an admin, so I have all sorts of bias about this.
Right.
But one of the reasons I really like Swiss as a tournament format is that it means everybody from the top down is going to be getting good competitive matches across their time. And I think that's really, really great and really, really healthy for people. Because I don't think it's a fun experience to go 0-2, get blasted by 2 people by 30 minutes, and ta-da, you're done with the tournament.
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
It's a time commitment, but the thing is that, like, with this format is, like, it's a time commitment that everybody's aware of, and everybody is kind of, committing to from first sign up. If you sign up for something that does the double elimination, well, it's like, well, you don't know if you're going to be committing your time for the entirety of the tournament, or if after 2 weeks, oh, well, now I have nothing to do, now I gotta find something else to do, and it can leave a sour taste in people's mouths. So it's just, you say 8 weeks of Swiss, it's like, okay, you're playing 8 weeks. If you want to do tournament, like, go right ahead. You got 8 weeks to play, and so it's eight matches that you can do, and it's something that's preset and gives everybody an opportunity to.
And honestly, the last few weeks, the matches are just like bangers top to bottom. Like they're. Sorry, go ahead.
It's definitely just gonna be a bit of a faraway stare, though, to go to X and 3 like halfway through.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one of the nice things about Swiss, too, is that it handles dropouts gracefully. So if people don't want to be playing when they're not playing for bracket, like, that's an understandable attitude, too, and it doesn't hurt the tournament if that happens.
Yep.
But as someone who is also sitting at 2-2, I do understand that faraway stare to a degree, for sure.
Oh, most definitely. Was there anything with this match that you guys felt was kind of a oh darn the moment that you found it, or anything like that? Any big moment for you during the race?
Last locating dam wasn't my favorite. Yeah, like that. So I had this all planned out in my head, right? Like, I was gonna, check the pyramid, and I was gonna go back for Mimic Cave and, like, going through the Bumper Cave. And then I saw the T-Rock connector, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna stick to my original plan. What are the odds this is gonna be anything? And then, what are you gonna do, though?
Yeah, well, the mirror, obviously. Mountain entrances, I guess.
Yeah. I guess I shouldn't say last locating dam, because Eastern was just always existing, but yeah. Last entrancing, I think, is...
Yes, exactly, because, it was like, the dam can't be in Eastern.
Yeah.
So it is, it's still true, yeah, definitely that would be a bit of a bite. And that mirror, we were kind of, we were a little worried because of the first castle tower small being in the ice big chest. We were actually kind of worried when we saw that on Kappa's side. We were worried that Walsh might put that off, because you had the knowledge it was a pendant dungeon. And you hadn't gotten to your fire rod for quite some time after Kappa did, so it was a matter of, is he just going to do everything else and not get that castle tower small? Yeah,
and I was, especially, like, if you happened to find that fire rod before you went to Paradox Cave, I could have seen the world where you go into Ice Palace without the big key, and then all of a sudden that castle tower key is your last location in the game, probably.
Yeah. I was really happy when I found that, and the ice rod.
Yeah.
Maybe that happens.
That was another sort of fulcrum moment, is that one, because I think you were, Kappa, about, I'd say 45 seconds ahead to Ice Palace. Like, this race was really closed for almost all of it. Like, you both had, like, Walsh had the mirror boots, you had the fire rod. But in terms of, like, who had done what, it was really close.
Yeah, you had fire rod, you had flippers, and that got you to your ice rod well before Walsh did. But Walsh had some, Walsh had the mirror, had the boots early, so it was like it was split constantly. Anytime you were missing something, he was also missing something that you had, and it was very evenly scaled between the two of you the entire race.
Yeah. Certainly not surprised I had boot second.
Yeah, so you redipped pod before you found the Hut of Darkness, as it were, with those, 3 pod keys in the first
3
forge.
keys yeah.
I had 4, so I could do a little save scumming, I guess.
Yeah. It was kind of absurd. It was honestly just kind of absurd. When you're just alright, here's a small key, it's pod. Here's a small key, it's pod. Here's a small key, it's pod.
Yeah, I was reading it out as they were coming up on screen, and it was like the first chest was like a piece of heart or something like that, or a heart container or whatever. And then it was like, oh, here's a small key to pod. And then it was like, here's a small key to pod. Here's another small key. Oh, don't say it. Oh god, it's pod.
Yeah.
We've been going on interview for a pretty long time. I don't want to force people to stay on or stay around. I know Lynn's doing the retime right now, but I'm sure that you'll find out. We can message people on Discord when that happens. We don't need to keep the broadcast running. As sure as if you're on the Crosskeys Discord,
I got nowhere else to be, so.
Well, I will stay here all evening. It's a Friday. I don't have to work tomorrow.
Okay, but I'm going to warn you, I'm going to start doing improv comedy if we go on much longer.
Yes, and.
Oh, and I'm really bad at it.
Raid then, huh?
So yeah, do we have any other ZSR events that are coming up that we want to make sure we throw a shout out to before we raid off this mortal coil, as it were?
Well, I think we got the kickoff race for the MMR tournament coming up on tomorrow during the normal weekly time, which will be at noon Eastern time. On that, tomorrow we got NA Weekly, we've got some TWWR Weekly. I'll pull up the schedule, we'll take a quick look. There's a lot going on tomorrow. Alright, let's see, we got some more NMG League stuff tomorrow. Or, I guess, tomorrow at 1 a.m. there's a match. Let's see, we got some Wind Waker Randomizer Tournament rounds. We got some... the MMR first round for their tournament is going to be tomorrow at noon Eastern. Skyward Sword Randomizer is going to have a match around 1. We got a Zelda versus Hitsian Crosskeys match tomorrow at 3. More Skyward Sword. The NA Weekly, more MMR, Z2R. It's a day. Pretty much, if you log onto one of our channels at any point tomorrow, you're probably going to get something. So there's all that going on. Oh, I know where I'm going to raid anyway.
Excellent. So that is, that's really good to hear. Our weekends are always so busy. There's always something here. All weekend long, you can usually find something.
there's like
most
six.
hours of the day.
There's like 6 different tournaments going on right now, so that's why there's a lot going on. Actually, it looks like we've got a good one tomorrow too. It's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern time. We got the casual boots tournament Group C tiebreaker. It's going to be Tyler Salt versus Iwola Kolwala and Chloe Power. So there's some good ones to catch tomorrow. Yeah, so I want to thank Artie Walsh and PlasmaKappa for giving us a great race to watch. Alizoon and Belibral for calming for us, Toffile and Lady Laura Linda for tracking for us. You all did great, and appreciate you guys hanging out to this late hour, or at least Eastern time, if not other time zones too, probably even later, to give us curry commentary and great job trackings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take us over and we're going to raid the Zeldathon, since that's still ongoing.
That's a good raid target, yeah.
What are they doing right now? They are playing... Oh, they're playing Ocarina of Time right now. There we go. So thank you all for coming out to watch, and I hope you all have a good night.
Good night.
Night all.